thank you for being here. It's an honor for me to be among all these beautiful ladies here. If there's gentlemen, of course, I'm pleased to welcome you too. And thank you. I mean, you know, I'm so grateful, really. I'm really grateful. I've been on a growth journey, and during that journey, I've met Rosamond, and we had that great connection, and this brings us together today. So I really love what you are all part of, the glorious women's linkage, the GLOWLINK. And I love your vision that you are building that Christian community of women, probably the largest, is that the largest organization to empower women and equip them with leadership and with entrepreneurship skills. So I think, you know, this is so fantastic. And you will understand why. I mean, as probably the introduction said, we women need to be very autonomous, to be empowered. And this way we can help our family, but also our community and then the world. So it's been my journey as a mother of 5 boys. I've been a single mother for close to 20 years. And during this time, when I became a single mother, I was really shy. I was really shy, and I was really how should we say, I was lacking confidence, actually. And in lacking confidence, you know, I could not speak. I didn't know if people would say she's stupid, or, you know, maybe they would criticize me. So I was always afraid to share my thoughts and my words. But this time, of course, has changed. I became an entrepreneur to feed my family. I was a sole breadwinner. The father, I was not married with the father, but the father left, and actually I was a leader. Talking about leadership, I've been right there, thrown in the world, like with the 5 boys, being a leader. And so that's why I have a lot of respect with what you do, and all the women here who are part of this organization. It's so beautiful. And it's how should I say, it's really remarkable. It's very remarkable. So tonight, our topic is how to be a boundless woman, a boundless woman. And this is a theme that I thought was really so appropriate for 2023. And first, before I start with that, I just want to say that I will be talking and giving to you something very important. I mean, it's a free guide. I would love to give you a free guide, so you can touch base with Rosamond or the beautiful ladies, and then I will send it to you. It's ebook. It's a sort of ebook. So So this is called Perfect with Your Imperfections. That's my free guide to understanding and finding the essential keys to loving yourself and bringing that, you know, that inner power that we have into the world, because this is exactly the topic and the process. It's exactly that. So let's talk about how to be a boundless woman. So what does it mean in 2023, and what are the 3 main values, or the values, and we'll discuss probably more, and you'll be able to put in the chat whatever values you think about a boundless woman. I want to share that with you, but I want for you ladies here to also participate to being a boundless woman in 2023. It's really an empowering and inspiring experience. So it means having the courage to be yourself, to take risks, and to never stop growing, learning, growing, and to be also really creative, because this is to be creative, I noticed in my own life, and probably you did too, it's really fulfilling for yourself, for inspiring others also. So to be limitless, to be boundless, to be limitless, to be with infinite possibilities, for me, it's also being connected to the universe or to the God mighty. You are Christian ladies, so you know that whatever God created this huge universe, so some will call it God, so we'll call it that intelligence, the universal intelligence. This universal intelligence, God, has produced something absolutely magical where there's very specific laws. We all know gravity. We all know the law of attraction, which is the same, the law of relativity. There's so many laws which makes our world magical, but that magic, we have it inside. So it makes us totally boundless with infinite possibilities. And so in order, I mean, for me, the three main values of a boundless woman could be self-love, because you have to have a good opinion of yourself with humility in order to be able to look at some other people. Because if you don't have a good opinion of yourself, how are you going to treat the others in front of you? And then the self-expression, which is creativity. And we'll see, I will give you some very great examples and you will love them. I'm sure you will love them. You'll tell me. And then the third one is self-growth, because we all learn, we are on that journey of learning and growing, I mean, learning from others, learning from our own inner consciousness, inner power. And then that mix is really making us grow, becoming more empowered. That's what we want. We want to be more empowered. So to be authentic as a boundless woman, it's first, it starts to be honest with yourself and to embrace your uniqueness. And I will talk, as I mentioned at the beginning, perfection or perfect versus imperfect. Sometimes we think, hey, look at me, I'm not perfect, or I'm short, I'm tall, I'm fat, I'm this, I'm that, I have a pimple, blue eyes, whatever the thing. We are all different, of course, and difference is necessary. So we have to embrace that uniqueness and that difference. So do you agree with this so far, ladies? You know what you can do? You can put in the chat, I don't know if I see it, but you can put in the chat like some yes or some hearts or whatever. So in order to bring, I don't know if if the system allows it, but you may try to say that in the chat. So being a boundless woman will bring you joy. You know that it will bring joy and courage and resilience for your family, for your community, and for the entire world, because you become an example then. So it's a reminder that you are capable of anything you want and that you can make a positive impact. So if you agree with that, you can put something in the chat, and I don't know if I see in the chat, let me check. So I will put the chat here on my side screen, and I see a lot of heart from Beverly. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. It's great to see you, and thank you so much, ladies. So then, let's now talk, let's see in 2023, how to be a boundless woman in 2023. So we have to embrace that unique identity that we have. So that's the first one. I mean, there's more probably. So if you think there's more, you can just write them into, I see there's 3 new messages. Thank you for the heart. Queen Star, Charlotte, and Glorious Women. Thank you so much. And so it's embrace your unique identity, believe in yourself and your capabilities. Because when you believe, as I said, you believe in God, you believe in all these limitless possibilities, you believe that you have that inside, you have them inside. And then you take risks because you can't do something bigger than yourself if you stay in your comfort zone. So it's really to take risks and to be brave and to, you know, I would say, follow your intuition, listen to your heart and go out into the world. So take ownership of your life and saying like, thank you, God, every morning I'm alive and I can make decisions, I can make choices, and I can move on every day, create a beautiful life. So you find joy in the journey. So it's finding joy in the journey. So all of these are really how to be a boundless woman in 2023. So there's also now we saw some things how to do it. So now looking at some values. If we say, hey, look at this woman, she's a boundless woman. How would you see her? If you want to share, that's going to be great if you have some ideas. And I will tell you, you will see a woman, she looks confident. You know, she has confidence. She has also resilience because no matter what life throws at her, she's going to still keep her main, you know, main mood and good mood and kindness and compassion. And then the third one, it's compassion because she's made of compassion. If you are made of compassion with resilience and with confidence, you have the values of that. So it's absolutely beautiful. And how to be authentic. Authentic being that boundless woman. Well, then you know yourself, you know your values, and then you are going out in the world to speak your truth. Because then everything makes sense and you take responsibility into your actions actions. And I've learned something when I was working in IT. I heard when you mentioned into my presenting me, you said I worked in technology, and during that time when I worked in technology, I learned so many things about innovation, technology, social media, laptop, cell phones, connections, internet, many things. And so at that company, when I was working there, the employee had a sort of a motto, and it was say what you do. No, do what you say. Do what you say and own what you do. So it's exactly that. Take responsibility for your actions. Do what you say and own what you do. And then that's a total responsibility for your actions. And then live with intentions, because once you repeat one action, it will bring another one. You know, it's like pulling a string. You move and something opens up, like a door is opening up with more opportunities. And then you have to live with your intentions, because if you don't know where you are going, if you don't have a roadmap in your heart and in your mind for your life, you don't know where you're going. It's like taking your car and driving to go somewhere. You say, hey, I'm going on vacation, nowhere. Like, I'm just going to drive. You don't know where you're going to end up. So it's like when you live with intention, your intentions are like your GPS, because you will say, this is what I want. I have the intention to do that. And as right above, you will take responsibility for your actions, then it's kind of rolling. It's rolling together. But also what you have to make sure is to take time for yourself, time for well-being, time for mindfulness, time for relaxing, breathing, exercising, you know, a little bit of time, could be 30 minutes per day. It's not that much. And I know, I mean, mothers, we are all busy doing things. But so do you agree with that? Is that, can you relate? Oh, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Beverly. And so, yes, if you relate, I'm so happy because I really want to be connected with you and to bring you a lot of insights with that. So imagine you have your family, you have this beautiful community. What is this bringing to your family, to your community, and to the world when you are a boundless woman? So you have then that strong sense of yourself, as we saw earlier. You know yourself, you appreciate yourself, you take care of yourself, and you have a purpose. You have that sense of purpose, where you're going and why. And you show up as a model of resilience and courage also, because along the way, we all know that there will be some challenges. And you show up as a leader who is passionate and inspiring, you know, because if your eyes are not like, you know, like putting like sparkles, you know, our life shows into our eyes, because when you see someone, you look right into the eyes. So in the eyes, you can see the vibration of the person. So when a leader is passionate and inspiring, you can see in their eyes. And then the voice, you have your voice, you are bringing that voice that is going to be heard and respected, because everything you're doing have value, with that kindness and compassion that we saw earlier. And I see 3 new messages. Yeah. Women tend to be busy. Yes, Mahame, Andrew, and Evelyn, you said yes. Thank you so much. And so let me continue on that. So you become a role model, really, like a role model for others to follow. And let me tell you something about role models. Role models, it's not advertising, hey, I'm a role model. Some ladies or some men, they can be a role model, but they are humble. They just do things. They help. They are kind, you know, they have some advice, or, you know, they are supportive and encouraging. Just that, it's like a role model, because you think, hey, look at this person. I mean, I would love to be like this person. And so if I kind of repeat what is bringing to be a boundless woman to all the world, the community, and your family in particular, it's that the strong sense of self and purpose, the model of resilience and courage, to be a leader that is passionate and inspiring, the voice that you're going to speak, that it will be heard and respected, but kind also, and then the role model for everybody. So being a boundless woman in 2023 means living with an open heart, an open mind, and an open spirit. So it means embracing the beauty of life and being unafraid to take risks and to follow your dreams. So it means being brave and courageous in the face of adversity, of course, and having the strengths to create a fulfilling and meaningful life. So earlier, we saw the 3 main values of a boundless woman, like self-love, self-acceptance, and self-empowerment. So if we talk more about that, you know, the self-love will mean loving and accepting yourself for who you are and understanding that you are worthy of love and respect. So you will put also some boundaries. And if you don't know about it, I've been leaving my sons. I mean, in order to be a mother of 5 boys, I was living with their father for 10 years, but that 10-year relationship was toxic because the father was narcissistic. And I was so calm, so naive, and so kind of, you know, I knew who I was inside, but I was not showing it. And my voice was kind of, you know, I was not talking too much, because if I was talking, he would say, what you are saying is stupid. And so now I'm not with toxic since many, many years. I just said 10 years. So starting at 33, when I became a single mom, it was like a breath of fresh air. I could finally breathe. And, you know, so the love and the respect from others now, I mean, I understand what it means. I know that if I feel someone is toxic, I will kind of, you know, slowly but surely go away. So it's what you live every day, and it's in your head, in your emotions, and in your heart. And then the self-acceptance, it means you will accept, of course, your flaws and your imperfections, as we said, but knowing that you are enough, you are way enough, because you have something special inside of you, and that you can learn how to better yourself, but to show up as you are. And to be self-empowered, it means having the courage to take risks and to make decisions that align the values that we talked about, the values, your values and your beliefs. And so talking about all this, when I started to read about self-development, I read many, many books and took many courses or programs and listened to like psychologists and, you know, very scientists and all of this. One of them, you probably know him, Dr. Wayne Dyer. And do you know him? You can put in the message if you know him. Dr. Wayne Dyer said it so well. You can't give what you don't have, because what comes, I'm asking you a question like he asked, when you have an orange and you squeeze the orange, what's going out of the orange? Orange juice, nothing else. It's not apple juice or prune juice or whatever. It's orange juice. So you can give what you have. So in order to give love, you have to have love. In order to have compassion, you have to have compassion. And it's like that for everything. And I loved everything about what Dr. Wayne Dyer said, because it was so true to the everyday life, actually. And so when you feel you are authentic as a boundless woman, it means that you are so true to yourself, but you live with integrity of who you are, honest with yourself, and then open, of course, to learn and to grow. So this means, and I mentioned it, compassionate and kind. Never forget that. It's so important. And then you fulfill a life that you can bring to, I mean, it brings much to your family. You know, when I felt fulfilled when I became a single mom, because I was finally in charge of my decisions. I was taking decisions that were aligned with me and not living a life of this man who was toxic. I was saying, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, let's do that. And it was not aligned with who I am. I mean, with who I was, but who I am. So you really have to have that sense of meaning and fulfillment into your life for yourself, your family, your community. And so when you live that life of purpose and passion, you inspire others right away to do the same. So it has that ripple effect. And I did a video, like a live video recently, and I want to explain you. My kids, my sons, of course, were little when I was 30. I'm not 30 anymore. Like many years pass by, and my kids are grown up. And when you have young adults, I mean, teenagers and then young adults, it's not always like a very smooth ride or drive. And the waters can be all kind of very, dramatic. Sometimes it's drama, but don't, I mean, if I can say as a mother, that's what I teach to mothers, how to stay calm and how to stay zen and how to keep that happiness, even during difficult time. Of course, your emotions will go, also up and down, but there's a way to welcome them, to embrace the emotion, understand them, and kind of understand them, and then not manage, but kind of know what to do with them. So the ripple effect, if you act with purpose, passion, and all of this, and the others will do the same, you inspire, that ripple effect. I saw it in my family because I've been telling them during many, many years, because kids, they will try smoking. I don't like really smoking. I smoked maybe, now I quit, now it's been like 12 years, I never smoke. But at that time, I was smoking maybe one cigarette, in the evening when I was with friends. But I was telling them, look, why are you going to smoke? So I was talking about smoking, about alcohol, about all these sort of addictions that young people, like girls or boys, maybe more boys, they can fall into. And so talking to them, and being there for them and showing them the example. I've been an example, if you want for the others to look at you. I mean, you cannot be drunk every night and tell your kid, don't touch alcohol because it's bad. No, I mean, and so alcohol, I mean, of course, you drink. Now I don't drink that much. I never drink during the week. Maybe during the weekend, I have 1 glass of sparkling wine, but that's it. And you know why? Because I want to be in charge of my mind. I don't want for something to come and kind of change it. And to be boundless, it is too. So the ripple effect was that it had an effect, the way that I was behaving, like no cigarettes, no alcohol, and telling them about, the consequences and how they could feel better. They started to go to the gym. They started to exercise. And when you exercise, you want to feel healthy. And it started with one, and then another one, like the second one and the fifth one were going together. And then the others were looking at it. And the fourth one said, oh, me too. And they stopped smoking, they stopped drinking. They send like, oh, they have an app. And so they show like 500 and so many days without alcohol or cigarettes. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, it's like more like close to 2 years. And so that's a ripple effect. So you never know how it's going to happen, but it will happen. And so when you show as you are, it will happen. And I really want to mention, because now that I mentioned my families, that's a good way to show it. But I want to share, because there's so many great ladies in history that have been boundless women. And I think, and also it's how do you say, Black Month history or something like that. So I think for me, I selected 3 ladies, And you will tell me what you think about that. So the first lady, I think of Rosa Parks. I think this woman, she's a hell of a woman. If you agree with me, you can put thumbs up. And if you don't know her, Rosa Parks, she said, to bring about change, you must not be afraid to take the first step. We will fail, but when we fail, we will fail when we fail to try. So yeah, thank you so much, Rosemont. Yes, yes, you love her, and I love her too, because Rosa Parks, her story was that she was on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama. And you know what? I've been to Alabama because I lived in Texas. So it was in 1955 when the bus driver asked her to stand up and give her seat to a white man. So Parks, she was a black seamstress. I think she was, yeah, she was doing, that's what she was doing. So she refused, and in doing so, she sparked an entire civil rights movement in America, in the United States. So it, you know, she had that sort of, it was just her values. She had the values, and maybe she was tired of that injustice. And so she showed up as herself. And so she was a woman living with courage and with resilience and with showing up her value. So I mean, I wrote something about like Rosa Parks, you know, she did that. She did bring more joy. She brought more joy, more courage, and more love to the world. And it means, and also through justice, integrity, and respect for all. And so many women who act every day. There's so many women everywhere. I mean, we remember her, but we probably do some courageous acts like that, and so she showed up as boundless and a courageous trailblazer for justice and respect for all. And I think for me, I mean, I thought she's a hero. And then the second one is Marie Curie. And Marie Curie, she's, I can write the name here, probably, if you don't know. Let's see. Marie Curie. Okay, so I will put that here. You probably know her. She's born since, I mean, she's dead since a long time. So Marie Curie, she was a pioneering physicist and scientist. And we were talking about, you know, entrepreneurship or creativity. And she was, you know, incredibly in these years, in, you know, at the beginning, I mean, the end of the past century and the end of the past century. So she was a pioneering physicist and scientist, and she coined the term radioactivity because she discovered two new elements in the world. She discovered radium and polonium. And so she developed a portable X-ray machine, you know, with, that's why, you know, sometimes the doctors, they leave the room when they do an X-ray because there's radium and polonium and it's kind of dangerous. So she was the first person, the first woman to win two separate Nobel Prizes, one for physics, the other one for chemistry. And she was the only person, regardless of gender, to receive Nobel Prizes for two different sciences. But she faced constant discrimination from men, of course, you know, throughout her career. And because it was a male-dominated field, but despite this, she remained, you know, like relevant and resilient into doing what she had in her heart, because she was doing what she was loving. She was loving that. And I thought, yeah, it was great. And then I thought I would talk to about this third lady, And she's not very well known, but I think her story also is amazing. You maybe know her. She's Sojourner Truth. And for her, Sojourner Truth is one of the most inspirational Black women in American history, and her word belonged to one of the most famous speeches by any woman. As African American, she's an abolitionist and women rights activist. So Truth delivered a famous speech about the rights, the human rights, and that has come to be known as "Ain't I a Woman?" Because she said that, I mean, I'm going to tell you her story. I mean, her story is pretty amazing. Truth was separated from her family at the age of 9 years old. That's pretty young. And so she was subsequently sold for an auction, during an auction, as a slave. You know, at that time, of course, it's a long time ago, but so she was sold with some sheep for $100. So in 1829, and you see, I don't know how old she was, but she was probably like 33 or something. She escaped for freedom. She escaped to freedom with her daughter, her little daughter, Sophia, and 2 other children were left behind, but she had to run away, and she took the youngest. And the Truth, I mean, Truth, her name Truth, began to advocate for rights of women and African Americans in the late 1840. So it means 40 years later, she died, but, you know, she was in her 30s and 40s, and she was really passionate about women's rights and universal suffrage, like the voting. So she's the foremost leader for the abolition movement of slavery, and she's an advocate, one of the earliest advocates for women's rights. And so her story, I thought, was really amazing, because I don't know if you have seen some movies, but it was pretty damn dangerous at that time just to open your mouth when you were a woman. And so she was doing, you know, pretty courageous things. But again, you know, she was listening to her heart. And so that's great. I don't say, you know, we need to do some like huge thing, but whatever we have inside our heart, we can do it. You know, we can do it. So I don't know if you have heard about the era, the new era of Aquarius. So as the world right now moves, I mean, we are already into this new era of Aquarius. And why I mentioned that, it's because all these ladies have brought many things, and the list is long. There's so many ladies in history, women. They brought a spirit of freedom for the people and more power to the women. And this era of Aquarius, where we are now, it's 2000 years, it's a 2000-year era where communication is faster, and we can communicate better, and we can see. Everybody can communicate for free with this. And so you can be on Instagram, do a live every day to tell what you have to say. And before, you had to go on TV and maybe be a famous person or pay in order to be heard or to speak. So right now, that era of Aquarius, it's bringing more freedom, more communication, and more power to the people, to all of us, not big chief or big commandment. It's more the entire thing. So the concept of being a boundless woman is becoming more and more relevant we have more tools at our fingertips, you know, in order to do what we want to do, to do what we have inside. So boundless women who are courageous and powerful in the sense of also kindness and self-aware. They are self-aware individuals, and they are who are driven by their own personal values for the interest of all, can do a lot of things. Being a boundless woman, it means having that courage to be true to yourself, to your beliefs, while also being open to new ideas and experiences of others. So we have been talking about that, the challenges and staying strong and resilient. So how can you be authentic while being that? Well, you can try different things and take risks. Even if you are scared, finally, you can be kind to yourself and to others. You know your worth and you can move on. So all of this now I'm going to talk more about the perfect imperfect. If we have still like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I don't know how much more I have, but for conclusion, being a boundless woman in 2023 means bringing a sense of courage, resilience, authenticity to your family, your community, to the world. It's a powerful message of strength and empowerment that will have a long-lasting impact, because you never know how the impact will resonate to others. So with that ripple effect that we talked about. So we all have a role. You know, what is your role as a woman, as a mother, a sister, a daughter, a wife? You know, being a woman in the world nowadays, what is your role? What do you do? And how do you show up for yourself? Do you think you're perfect or imperfect? So, you know, there's a secret, and I want to conclude with that. So today, you know, we are talking about the feminine forces, and I think it's being faithful to the feminine forces. Because what does that mean to be perfect or imperfect in this world? Everybody is perfect because we all have our true value. We are all different. We are beautiful in our differentness. And so for me, what are the true values, the true feminine values? It's humility, compassion, and love. I'm talking about femininity right now. I'm not talking about entrepreneur or whatever. I mean, entrepreneur, of course, but, you know, humility, compassion, and love. If we could teach that in school to every kid, how to embrace humility, how to embrace compassion and love, and still keep your personality with creativity, the world will be a better place right away. So these are very soft values because love is immense. And so, but, you know, nevertheless, we don't receive these values in the world because we can see that, you know, these kind of values are not valued in our society nowadays. You can see the world is still very, very, like, I would not say man, but, you know, the men have always organized the world more or less, and they're still that sort of kind of a strictness and nowness and being like kind of a little toughness, should say. But then if we can share into the world this sort of a huge movement of feminine forces, which also can fit men. I mean, men can embrace love. I mean, it's not a diminishing value. It's, in the contrary, an empowering value. So humility, compassion, and love, everybody can embrace it because love is so immense. And our world is only made of love, because what does it take to grow all these beauties around us? You know, the forest, the trees, the ocean, everything, it takes love. So our planet is just a huge piece of love. So, I mean, that's what I think when I wake up in the morning. Every morning, I think that. So bringing more of humility, tenderness, compassion, and love, we can still be business women. We can be doctors, we can be stay-at-home mom, whatever we do. And some can even run a country, but if they do that and they use humility, compassion, and love, then it's all a win for everybody. It's a big, big win. So, you know, it's my intention to bring women with that sense of awareness of the beauty that we have around, because if we go dig, or if we breathe in this magical kind of universe we have, and we bring it inside of us, it will bring more of that, you know, kindness, compassion, patience, humility, at the same time, resilience, and listening to our heart and going into the world to do what we want to do, to empower others and to inspire others. So are you ready to do that? Are you ready to embrace the magical of the world and be a boundless woman? Yeah, Evelyn, yes, absolutely. Evelyn and Beverly. Yeah, there's Evelyn. Thank you. Beverly, thank you. Charlotte, thank you. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. I'm very thrilled to be with you. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. I'll be more than happy to reply, of course. So,
okay, the floor is open for questions. That is what she's saying. In case you have any question for Madam Elisa to respond to it for you, please speak out. She's here to help us. Also, whatever you have on your heart, kindly let us bring it out, please.
okay.
Hello, hello. I have a question. So, how do you? I know that you are handling a number of things. So, how are you able to be present in everything that you are involved in? I mean, being a boundless woman, you would be present in, and you would be tied or be involved in a lot of things at the same time. And how are you able to be present in all of them and to give your best in all of them?
Oh, that's a great question. Thank you so much, Beverly. Well, so actually, we as mothers or as women, we have so much to do. We have always so much to do. When we start to have children, and to tell you the truth, I will tell you exactly how I lived it. So when I became a first mom, I became a mom with one, and then the following year I had the second one, and then the third one. And the first one, the second one was still okay. It was, manageable. But then when I had the third one, we moved from Canada to United States and in a bigger home. And the home was so big that I could not clean it. I was starting in one room, and then, by the end, when I was arriving at the end, I had to start again. So it was kind of like, totally difficult. And because I was living with that toxic person, he was draining my energy. I was tired. He was keeping me awake. He wanted me to listen to him. And I was like, I could not sleep. Anyway, so that was a period of time when I was disorganized. I was tired, and it was very difficult for me. So thank God, at one point it stopped, you know, because I had my fifth boy in Paris, the same father, but we just moved back to Paris and he left and I was living at my mom's. And then when I started to become an entrepreneur and all these years raising my sons, I learned about being organized. So I learned time, because I didn't know, I mean, I had no value. For me, 1 hour could be, you know, I was doing things and it could be like, for me, it was 5 minutes and it was an hour. But anyway, so then the best to do, I mean, what I learned also in technology, it's to use, I mean, I don't know if you use like time management, but the thing is, depending on what you do, the thing is to have a sort of similar rhythm every day, except of course, when you go have like a big party, a wedding or something, of course, then you will feel tired and, you know, it's going to be more difficult. But on a regular basis, all year long, you can have the same. For me, this is what works the best, because if you have your routine, I have a routine to wake up pretty early, and then I love the calmness, and you bring the resources in the morning, and then you have a routine of maybe meditation, of exercising a little bit, could be 30 minutes, as I said earlier. And these peaceful moments will bring you so much energy, you know. And with your intentions, I was talking about intentions. So, you know, during the day, what are your intentions? So it starts with having a routine every day, almost similar. And do you know, for example, like some people, they don't dress differently all the day. I mean, they have maybe 10 white t-shirts or 10 gray t-shirts or 10 red t-shirts or whatever, or like black and whites a lot or pink a lot. And so this way they don't have to think about, oh, how am I going to dress today and lose an hour, and then it drains your energy. So the thing is, it's to really shorten your decision-making time. When you have your decision-making time less, I mean, shorter and less draining, then you win. So that's why you have your routine. If you take your shower after that and you get dressed, you have either black and white, pink, or red. That's it. You know, don't go, I mean, I know you love maybe different things, or you have your set of dresses and you think, oh, today is this one, today is this one, and you can pick it the day before. So this way you know what you are going to wear. And then you have your intention. What is my intention for today? And you decided the day before, what is my intention for tomorrow or for this week? And then you can do it for the month and the year. Sometimes you think, okay, this year, this is what I want to do. Like every month, I want to achieve something. It could be a different job. It could be growing veggies in your garden, whatever. So every month you can have one thing and then you can work on it, except for your work. But then it's really to do one secret also you can add to that. It's using on your phone the time management, because for me, I don't see time pass by. So I have to look at my thing. And then you can, what I wanted to say is, except of the time management, it's, I saw something written and I lost my idea. But anyway, so it's really to have that sort of rhythm and intention. So this way you don't lose time. Yeah, bulk. The word bulk. Yeah, time management, exactly. Thank you, Blessed. And so bulk means that, I'm going to write it here. You do things in bulk. And I learned it in the industry of the leans, the industrial lean. I worked into the industrial lean, for example, Airbus, Danone, Coca-Cola, you know, all these companies, they are producing a lot. And what they do some, a person will do the same thing. He has to fill up a bottle maybe, so he's having not one bottle, but a bunch of bottles and do, I know now it's automatic, but imagine, and then screw the top and then go. So actually it's the same for moms or for us in our home. For example, you want to prepare food and you decide, you know what you do, you decide at the beginning of the week, you say, oh, okay, Monday we'll eat this. Monday, there's some sound here. Yeah, Charlotte, yeah, okay. So yeah, so Monday we'll eat this, Tuesday we'll eat this, and then, you know, you ease your mind and your physical load of things, you ease it to prepare it, you prepare it ahead of time. So you have your menus ready, because with 5 boys, if I didn't have my menus ready for the week, you know, with 5 like running into in every way, it would be like crazy. And so, yeah, I said, okay, let's prepare, let's know in advance what we eat and we have it. If we eat carrots and I don't know, like chicken, we'll have it, and this and it and that. Okay, so that's how to do it. And you know that it's nothing so secret. It's just a question of knowing what you want to do, your intention, and then there's some sort of tricks like bulk, doing bulk, and then also routine. Because if you do routine, your body will go slowly. Because if, you know, if every morning you do this, you do this, you do this, it's easier rather than, okay, every morning you have like 10 different things. Of course, it will be more crazy. Yeah. Okay, so I saw Charlotte wanted to say something. A question?
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Beverly.